Everyone, Paul here. Today I'm going to go over kind of what I've been going over my phone the last couple of days. I'm going to show you a strategy with these indicators. Now these indicators are they're paid. One of them is paid, but I'm going to show you how to use these paid indicators to kind of profit from doing options and also to do crypto as well. So I'm going to go over that today. And before I begin, I'm going to kind of give you guys to show you that there are two indicators, paid indicators, that I have bought. There's the AlgoPro, that's this one right here. That's one I'm going to be talking about today, but I do also have trade confident indicators. These are paid as well. I recommend both of them, but today I'm going to be talking about the AlgoPro. I'm not really going to go into AlgoPro, but I'll put the link below if you guys want to get AlgoPro. Now when I got AlgoPro, it was kind of a spur of the moment kind of thing. I'm like, maybe let's get some more indicators. So I got these indicators, and I was originally going to be using these indicators to kind of just improve my crypto day trading, but after having them for a little while, I went back and I looked at the indicators, and I looked them for stocks, and it works really well for doing options for stocks. And that's kind of what I'm going to cover today. I'm going to cover how you can use the AlgoPro indicators to do options, and then they'll also work for doing it with day trading crypto. So I'm going to kind of briefly go over that today. But first I want to kind of look at, we're going to look at, let's look at stocks first. I want to kind of talk about Bitcoin too. Okay, so we're going to go look at, for an example, we're going to look at SPY, because SPY is really the only stock I'm focused on right now. Focus on the one that, Warren Buffett's into. Let's just start over here. There's different ways to do this, but I just want to frame everybody's mind that to doing options, you don't really need all these indicators. With the AlgoPro indicator, all you really need to do, I forget which version, I think it's which version that was. I just took off, I think it's version 3. Yeah, it's version 3. So that's all you need to do once you get the indicators. Once you buy the AlgoPro indicators, you're going to give the guy your TradingView name, the account you logged in, and then when you do, he'll go and there's all these indicators. He'll give you an invite-only scripts. You'll click on this, and it'll take you to all the scripts from them. And the only one we're using right now is, Algo. I think I've gone into specifics on my phone, but we're just gonna go. All you have to do is click on AlgoPro version 3. That's really the only indicator you need. You can put I do like having a little bit extra, like the relative strength index, but I'm not really gonna use that in today's video. What I kind of want to get you guys trained on is the least amount of indicators that you really need to make this work. So for SPY, what we're really going to look at is we're going to look at if we want to do an option, and let's, first we're going to go over right here. What we want to focus on for this strategy using just this indicator is we want to look at the lines down here. And we want to focus on the dark green and the dark red. So basically, when it goes from dark red, light red to dark red, when it goes into dark red, that's usually an indication that right after that it's going to start going up. So when you're doing options, and it goes from light red, which you can't really see because move that up. Let's see if I can show you. Move this up. There we go. better. When you see it going from light red to dark red, you will know that it's eventually going to start going up. And it's a common pattern that has it with stocks. So how can you do this with your advantage? When you know something is going to go up, you know that you can put in a call, which basically means you can be in profit. So let's look at, for example, I'll use an example of doing a call and doing a put, and then I'll move on into crypto. So first of all, right here recently we have light red, and even there's a blend of it, but still overall it's going back into dark red. So what would I do? I would put in at this point right here, I would put in a call for 410. Anything that is around 410, I would do my option off of that. So I would put my option here, and I would just wait for a certain amount of time. And in about a day, you can see right here it went up 13 points. Now 13 points is, and I'm just going to give you guys an estimate. So it was 13 points that it went up from being in the red. On average, for every dollar that you're right, this is just average. Each option will have certain statistics, but I'm just going on by the number of 50. For every dollar that you're above your price, it'll be 50. So it went up 13. So for 50 there, you would have made around $650 for that option right there. So let's backtrack a little bit here. We're going to look at the moment it was red. So right here we see it again. Light red goes into dark red, and then it starts going green. So what I would do right here is I would put in my call for 390 or around 390. So what would happen if I held on to that? I would have made 22. It would have gone up 22 points. So what would have happened if it went up 22 points? 22 times 50. That was around a little over $1,000 right there in profit. So let's look for another moment that it's red. Right here. So what happens here? Now this happens like, this is accurate like let's say 98% of the time. It won't always work, but it'll work enough. So anyway, light red goes into dark red. So I would put my call around 373, and I would wait it out, and I would sell at this point. It'd be 21 points. That'd be another $1,000. So as to supposedly, I don't really know the accurate. That's just an estimate. Let's find one more time. Now you may ask yourself, well, which is better? Which is the red or the green? I like focusing on the red because when it's absolutely at the bottom, you know that it's potentially like the bottom of the markets. So there's no other place for it to go but up. So that's why I focus on the red. You could still do the green, which I'll talk about in a couple minutes. So let's do one more here. Light red goes into dark green. You see the red starting to thin out. So I would put my call right here. I do it for 366, and what would happen? I wait it out, and I'm on the hour. So 6 days, you made 20. The points went up 20, so that's $1,000. That's $1,000 in 6-7 days. So before I continue, let's do this the other way, which I prefer doing it when you're looking at the red, but we could do a put too. This works for puts as well, but I prefer doing it the other way. But let's just look. Let's go back and look. Okay. So the same situation right here. We see light green, and then it enters into a dark green. So when it enters into the dark green, that's when I would come in and put in it for a put. This might not be a good example, but let's just look. So right around here, I would put in for a put, and I'd wait out down here. What would happen here? It went down 6 points, so I think that's about $300 if for options. Let's do another example. I want to move on to crypto. Let's look at a green. The moment when it got green. Here we go. Well, no, that one's not. Well, yeah, it'll work. See up here, turns light green, turns a little bit darker. I would put in for a put around 400, and I'd wait it out. And what this would have been a massive gain right here. And it went down 36 points, so you would be 36 points would be a lot of money. 36 times around 50. That's almost $2,000 because you caught the bottom. Yeah, you caught it going down. So this is around 2,000 in seven days. So anyway, that's the general idea of how to profit using this with stocks and options. And I'm definitely going to be talking more about this later. I wanted to go over this today because when I start doing this for myself and you start seeing my results videos, I want you guys to see the strategy that I'm actually doing, that you guys can do yourself. All you gotta do is just get the AlgoPro indicator for this to work, and you can follow along what I do. But I will be making videos on my gains with options, so when you guys see my videos, this is the strategy that I'm doing. So let's move on to crypto and see how this works. For crypto, we're going to look at Bitcoin, and this one isn't really, well, it works the same. The only difference here is you're not doing options with crypto, obviously, and so you can't do it when it's green and it's going down, because then you'll be in loss. So it is more volatile, but it still works about the same. So whichever way you want to do it. So let's look at Bitcoin real quick. Let's look at kind of where I'm eyeing it right now. If this thing goes over. Come on now. So this is the same thing, and this is how I day trade with the crypto. And you can do any crypto you want. Okay, so right now I am on the hour. So this won't be an option, unfortunately, but you can still make profit. So let's look right here. Right now on the hour with Bitcoin, it goes into a light green, and now it's going into a dark green. So right now, if you did the same thing you did for options, you'd be losing money. Where I think it's going to happen is I have to wait for it to turn red, a light green, a light red right down here. See the light red? And then it's going to go into a dark red like this. It's going to go into a dark red, and it's going to thin out. And at this moment right here, when it's dark red and it'll start going up and it'll be green, that's when you get in for your trade. So that's what I'm currently eyeing right now. I'm waiting for it's already turned into a light red. I'm waiting for it to turn into a dark red, and as soon as it starts thinning out, I'm going to come in and I'll do a little day trade. But let's see a moment where that actually happened, where we have to wait. Okay, so right here, we see it going into, we see light red, and then it goes into a dark red, and then what happens? it goes into a dark red, and then we wait it out. We buy right here, and you wait, and that was a 5% gain right there. So if you had like $10,000 and you did a 5%, you would have made 500. The only disadvantages of doing it with crypto, you have to have more money to make more gains. With stocks and doing options, you don't have to have as much. So you have to have more money, more capital to make more gains. If you want, it works the same way, but let's just look at some other examples here. The way that I do it with stocks, it won't work with the crypto. With crypto, you have to focus on the other way. You have to focus on red, green. So you have to focus on looking for the bright red going into a dark red, and then getting your gains that way. So let's look at an example of when that happens. Let's try that. Let's see. Let's do. Now this is a good profit right here if we can find the moment it. Okay. So we see it right here. We see the bright red goes into a dark red, and then what happens? Turns into a green. So let's calculate this. So if you got in any time around here, if you bought in around here when it got dark red, and you waited it out, you would be in gains. You would have 14% in 2 days. So let's just look at one other example. We gotta look forward. Now this one might not work. We have light red goes in dark, but then it continues, goes back into light red, but eventually it does go back up. So let's just calculate this. See if from this point right here, we got light red, dark red. So if you did come in here, you would just had to wait a little bit longer. You might be down. I don't know. Let's look at the numbers. I think this does work better with stocks, but it still works with crypto. So light red. So we would buy right around here, and we would sell right up here. So this one is a 3%, not much, but 3% in 19 hours. Let's look at one more example. Okay, so we've got light red here, goes into dark red. So you would, if you bought anywhere in from this point, and then it went green, you'd have 3-4% in 1 day. Let's try one more. We have light red goes into dark red. So if you bought anywhere in here, you'd be in gains. So you would have 11% in a day and a half there. So this strategy with the AlgoPro indicators works really well. I would probably say it's about 95% accurate. But if you don't want to use the AlgoPro indicators, I'm pretty sure there's other indicators out there that are pretty similar to this, but I would recommend getting AlgoPro. You won't get the same results if you don't get the AlgoPro indicator like I've shown. If you want these exact indicators that I have, and you want all these other indicators, let me show you what else you get. I'm not going to go into specifics, but when you buy the AlgoPro indicators, you get all of these indicators. All these indicators. So that's what you get when you buy AlgoPro. And I also have the other indicators as well. So anyway, I thought I'd make this video to kind of show you. I mainly use this for the stocks, but it works for crypto too. So I wanted to show you guys both. scenarios. Anyway, probably the last video I'm going to really be talking about these strategy. I wanted to kind of burn these into people's brains to show you kind of the strategy that I'm doing when I'm doing options and crypto, because coming up I'm going to be doing some options, and I'll be making my results videos when I do make those, so when you guys do see those, you'll know what strategy I'm talking about. Anyway, if you guys want to get these indicators, up to you. Other than that, if you guys like this video, make sure you hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you guys in future videos.